Salutations, friends! My name is Gio, and I'm here to explore the overlapping frontiers of AI art and design for actionable nuggets that you can apply to your creative career. This is part 3 of a series on how to use AI to increase both the quality and quantity of your creative output. In my last video, I shared how to feed drawings from Procreate into Stable Diffusion for more targeted precision and what kinds of outputs you get back from the AI to quickly bring your ideas to life. Today I'm going to cover some handy tools to sort and organize your huge output of AI-generated images so that you can actually apply them to a project in a streamlined pipeline. And in my case, I'll be finalizing these comic panels and playing with the arrangement on the page. Let's get into it. The tool we're going to start with is Figma. Don't sleep on Figma, my art friends. This is a super useful design tool in your toolkit. It has this great infinite canvas where you can copy all those AI-generated images from your Stable Diffusion output folder, then paste them in here where you can space them out like this by hovering over the borders of the images, and leave notes and decisions for yourself in the margins to call out what pieces of each AI image you like and want to carry forward into the final panels. So what I'm doing right now is just reviewing each of the outputs, and I'm hoping to get to a point where I can just identify the right parameters to produce a few good images instead of like 20, 30, 50. But for now, I'm reviewing them and labeling them. In this case, I'm adding a star on top just to indicate that I like something about the image and that it's worth reviewing for another pass to cut and paste the pieces that I like. So at this point, I am fading out the images that I know I probably won't use and just keeping the ones that I think are winners. And I'm adding labels just to remind myself, well, wait, what was it about this specific image that I liked and wanted to keep or wanted to remix? And again, using that infinite canvas, I can kind of group the ones that I like into categories. For example, I like all these skies. I like all these mountains. Do I want ones with water in them? It's a useful bridge for moving the images between apps quickly and sorting and categorizing them. So let's get into some Figma hotkeys. You can see I've pasted one of the images here into Photoshop. One really useful feature of Figma is that you can copy any frame to your clipboard as a PNG file with the hotkey Command-Shift-C. Then I can flip over to another app like Photoshop like this and hit Command-V to paste it right onto the canvas. What this lets me do is add multiple outputs from the AI generation and add them as layers in Photoshop, and then I can use masks. Then I can paint in transparency. If you're not familiar with this concept, I'm using transparency almost like it was the color of a paintbrush, and painting transparency into the layer of the image here, and that is selectively revealing parts of the image underneath. So I can kind of stack them up in this kind of layer cake and dig holes through there to show just the parts that I want to for each image, such as the mountains or the sky or the foreground. Oh, I like those clouds. Maybe I'll paint them in. Oh, maybe I don't like them that much. I'll fade them out slightly. I'll paint over it a little bit. Once it's in Photoshop, I can add my own level of detail. Again, it's the compositing of all of these different AI images together that is helping me hit a 80% of the way there kind of state of the image so that I can go back in and add the last 20% or 10% with traditional digital painting, as it were. I could be doing some of this in Procreate as well, but I find this combination of Figma and Photoshop is more optimized for doing all of this heavy layer management across multiple images and panels, as you can see. To paint with a mask, once the mask is selected, I am flipping back and forth between white and black ink on my brush using the X hotkey, so that when I paint with black, it makes the layer more transparent, and when I paint it with white, it fades in the opacity more, so I can blend across the layers, which is giving some pretty cool looking results. I'll wrap it up there for today. Thanks for joining me on this AI art generation and comic book page composing journey. I'll look forward to showing you some new tips and tricks in the next video. See you then. Cheers.